we vote electronically.
Yes.
We will move a little bit faster.
If that is done on this one, these bills, we are voting electronically. Sergeant at Arms, nobody should leave the chamber after the bar is drawn. Whether you are voting as a delegation or a nominated senator, you shouldn't be in the house. So let's go to division. Can you remove your cards first and log in? Yeah, I'm waiting for the technical team to bring the vote on. Proceed and vote.
Just a moment. I see there's some issue with the system.
So, honorable senators, I want to give the House some guidance. Since the system is not working, and we had 3 divisions to do. Therefore, the 2 are clear, but the third one which we were to consider this afternoon, we must call out the order first, and then I'll put the question. Order number 13.
Order number 13, motion, consideration of the report of the Mediation Committee on the Gambling Control Bill, National Assembly Bills number 70 of 2023, resumption of debate division.
I want to put the question.
Don't pause that, just focus on that.
Honorable Senators, and earlier guided, we will do the 3 divisions simultaneously. Therefore, since I put a question on the first 2, now I put the question on order number 13, which is a consideration of the report of the Mediation Committee on the Gambling Control Bill, National Assembly Bills number 7 of 2023. Honorable Senators, I put a question that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Gambling Control Bill, National Assembly Bills number 70 of 2025, laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 16 July 2025, and that pursuant to Article 113(2) of the Constitution, and standing under Article 67(3) of the Senate, approves the mediated version of the bill. So we are doing manual voting. Honorable Senators. Senator Mons, you know I don't take instructions from when I'm here. I'm waiting for confirmation from Mr. Daniel. The system is back. We start now with the county government's additional allocations, number 2, Senate Bills number 8 of 2025. Proceed and vote, Honorable Senators. Can you log out first? Log in. Proceed and vote. Now vote. You can vote. Senator Mwenda Kataya. Alep. Let's go to the next division. Honorable Senators, you can vote on the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2025. Senator Chalagay. Senator Wambua. Senator Chute. I put the question. Huh? Let's go to the next division. Honorable Senators, kindly be attentive so that all of you can vote at one go to save on time. Go back to your seat and vote. Senator Chalgay, what's up? Senator Chalgay, you did not vote. Can you either vote yes, no, or abstain? Honorable Senators, Honor Senators. Senators on Honor. Senator Mudigi, Senator Chalgay. I want to give you results of your handiwork. We are starting with the Counting Governments and National Allocations, number 2, Senate Bills number 8 of 2025. Results as follows. Ayes 32, 33, nays 0, abstention nil. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the additional allocations to county governments for the financial year 2025-2026, the responsibility of national government and county government with respect to such allocation and for connected purposes.
Results for the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bills number 12 of 2025. Results as follows. Ayes 33, nays 0, abstention nil. Sorry. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the administration of non-contributory social protection interventions to establish the National Board for Social Protection and for connected purposes.
The results of the last one, which is the Senate adopts the report of the Implementation Committee on the Gambling Control Bill, National Assembly Bills number 7 of 2025, laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 16th July 2025. And that pursuant to Article 113(2) of the Constitution And standing order 167.3 of the Senate approves the mediated version of the bill. The results as follows: ayes 30, nays 3, abstention 0. The ayes have it. Sergeant at arms, now open the doors and withdraw the bars. Senator Mtata, can you give your notice of motion?
May I have the mic? Mr. Speaker, sir, I write to give a notice of motion on provision of IFMIS reports for county governments to the Senate. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion: that aware that Article 96 of the Constitution provides that the Senate represents the counties and serves to protect their interests, determines the allocation of natural revenue among counties as provided in Article 217, and exercises oversight over national revenue allocated to the county governments. Further aware that in the case of the Senate, the Council of Governors, and 6 others, petition number 24 and 27 of 20 consolidated 2022 KEC number 57 KELR, the Supreme Court affirmed that the Senate's oversight authority extends to both nationally allocated and locally generated revenue. Concerned that senators are constrained by lack of access to real-time data from the IFMIS system for the respective counties, for the respective counties they represent, thus affecting effective oversight of county governments. Further concerned that, in some instances, data and information presented to the Senate by the Auditor General and the control of budget are received and considered late as a result of the backlog, resulting into too much information not getting properly reviewed by the senators. Noting that as a result of the unchecked financial information and systems, county governments have continued to accumulate pending bills resulting from unplanned expenditures, unaccounted for and inflated cost of projects. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the Cabinet Secretary in charge of the National Treasury shall on a monthly basis forward to the Clerk of the Senate all IFMIS transactions and reports for each county government for onward transmission to the respective senator for information on accountability and transparency in order to strengthen their constitutional oversight and promote good governance in the management of public finances. Presented by Senator Andrew Mtata Koiti MP. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Senator Okio Mtata. Honorable Senators, we go back now to order number 7, questions and statements. We start with the statements and standing under 53.1. Senator Sifuna is not allowed. That statement is deferred. Senator John Kenywa.
Request for a statement on the deaths of Julia Njoki and Thomas Gashwara during and after Sabasaba demonstration in Nanyuki, Laikipia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise person to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of national concern regarding the deaths of Mr. Thomas Gashwara and Ms. Julia Njoki during and after the Sabasaba demonstrations on 7th July 2025 in Nanyuki, Laikipia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, Julia Njoki, a 24-year-old, was arrested during the Sabasaba demonstrations in Nanyuki on 7th July 2025. After being charged in court the following day, she was granted a cash bail of Kenya shilling 25,000, which she couldn't afford, leading to her remand in Nanyuki prisons. On 9th July, her family was informed that she had collapsed in custody and was taken to Nanyuki Teaching and Referral Hospital with severe injuries. She later died, with preliminary medical reports pointing to blunt force trauma, raising serious concern about her treatment while in state custody. Mr. Speaker, sir, further intensifying public concern was fatal shooting by the police of Thomas Gashwara, a Form 3 student, also in Nanyuki on the same day of the protests. These incidents highlighted a worrying trend of the use of excessive force by law enforcement agencies during demonstrations and exposed critical failures in protecting detainees' rights and ensuring police accountability. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, an account by the Inspector General of Police and the Commissioner General of Prisons on the circumstances surrounding the arrest, detention, and death of Ms. Julia Njoki, as well as the fatal shooting of Mr. Thomas Gashwara, including the operational decisions taken during the Sabasaba protests and the disciplinary measures taken against the officers involved. 2, the extent of violation of rights of demonstrators generally as well as persons arrested and or detained during the protests, and the rigor or disciplinary action taken against the culpable police officers. 3, whether the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has initiated investigation into police operations during the Sabasaba protests, specifically the killing of innocent Kenyans and the use of brutal force against unarmed protesters, to ensure that those responsible are held accountable. 4, recommendation for reforms to ensure transparency, accountability, and respect of human rights in crowd control and detention procedures, including whether enforcement officers receive sufficient training on lawful conduct and ethical standards in line with their duties, and the system in place to hold them accountable for misconduct. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Abbas, Sheikh Mohammed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on a matter of county-wide concerns regarding the utilization of climate financing and development grants by Wajir County in the energy, environment, and natural resource sector during the financial year of 2023-24, 24-25. Honorable Speaker, it is noteworthy that Wajir County receives substantial climate-related funds, including an allocation from the Climate Change Adaptation Fund, which constitutes 2% of the county annual development budget. In addition, the county benefits from the external grants, notably the financing locally led climate action program, that is FLOCA. Despite the presence of these resources, questions abound regarding the transparency, equity, and effectiveness of the implementation of the ward at the ward levels. In light of this, I request that the committee address the following. 1, utilization of the capital grants and transfers by Wajir County, including source of funding, total amount received, funded projects, the allocations and awards and current implementation status. 2, provide a list of infrastructure and civil works projects implemented by the county, including project names, locations, and progress updates. 3, a word-by-word breakdown of projects financed through the Climate Change Adaptation Fund, including the project names, amounts allocated, and implementation status. 4, a list of the FLOCA-funded projects, specifying the names, locations, amounts, and the list of beneficiary categories by the wards. I submit to the Honorable Speaker.
Senator Azina, the Malay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a request for a statement on the status of medical equipment at Baragoi Sub-County Hospital in Samburu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the status of critical medical equipment at Baragoi Sub-County Hospital in Samburu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, Baragoi Sub-County Hospital serves a vast population in the northern part of Samburu County in the northern constituency, including remote and underserved communities. The hospital continues to face major challenges in the delivery of essential health services due to lack of functional equipment. The anesthesia and X-ray machines have been out of service for an extended period despite repeated requests for repair, forcing patients to seek radiological services in the distant Maralal. The hospital also lacks a CT scan and a full hemogram machine, both essential for accurate diagnosis, surgical procedures, and maternal care. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, reasons behind the delay in servicing and repairing the anesthesia and X-ray machines, and establish who is responsible for this prolonged inaction. 2, plans by the county and national governments to equip Baragoi Sub-County Hospital with a CT scan machine. 3, the expected timelines for the procurement of a hemogram machine to improve the hospital's surgical and diagnostic capacity. 4, the interventions to ensure the hospital operates at full capacity and can adequately safeguard the health and well-being of residents in the Samburu North Sub-County and the county at large. Senator Ezena Lemalitian, dated 17th of July 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Murango.
Asante sana mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, niko na taarifa 3 ambazo ningependa kusoma. Moja imeorodheshwa katika order ya leo katika mbuga la Seneti na ningeomba kusoma mtawalia. Taarifa kuhusu hali mbaya ya gereza la wanawake la Lang'ata na maslahi ya
Sorry, Senator Murango. Just approach the table.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Nitazisoma mtawalia. Mr. Speaker. Taarifa kuhusu hali mbaya ya gereza la wanawake la Lang'ata na maslahi ya maafisa wa magereza. Mr. Speaker, nimesimama kwa mujibu wa kanuni ya kudumu 43(1) ya kanuni za kudumu za Seneti kuomba kauli kuhusu swala la kitaifa kutoka kwa kamati ya leba na ustawi wa jamii kuhusu hali mbaya ya gereza la wanawake la Lang'ata na changamoto zinazokumba maafisa wa magereza katika utekelezaji wa majukumu yao. Mr. Speaker, gereza la wanawake la Lang'ata ni miongoni mwa magereza makubwa nchini na machache ambamo wahalifu wa kike wanaofungwa. Kwa masikitiko makubwa, gereza hili halina ua rasmi, jambo linalotishia usalama wa wafungwa. Kando na hilo, visa vya ukatili na dhuluma za kijinsia dhidi ya watoto wanaoishi gerezani vimeripotiwa na kuibua wasiwasi. Aidha, kituo cha elimu ya utotoni ECD kinachohudumia watoto wa wafungwa katika gereza hilo na maafisa wa magereza na jamii jirani kimeachwa nje ya mpango wa lishe wa serikali ya kaunti ya Nairobi. Vile vile kituo cha afya cha daraja la 3 kilicho ndani ya gereza hilo kinakambiliwa na uhaba wa mandawa na wahudumu, hali inayotishia afya wafungwa, watoto na maafisa. Licha ya kuchimbwa kwa kisima na mamlaka ya TARDA, kisima hicho akifaidi jamii ya gereza hilo kutokana na ukosefu wa vifaa vya kusukuma na kushambaza maji. Katika kauli hiyo, kamati inapaswa kuelezea yafuatayo. Moja, iwapo serikali imefanya ukaguzi wa kina na miundombinu ya gereza hilo, ikiwemo uwezekano wa kulizingira gereza hilo kwa ua dhabiti ili kuhakikisha wafungwa, wafanyikazi wa gereza hilo na familia zao usalama. Mbili, hatua za kuboresha mazingira ya kazi, marupurupu makazi na maslahi ya maafisa wa magereza kama vile huduma za afya, na iwapo kuna mipango ya kuboresha makazi ya maafisa wa magereza ikiwemo kuwajumuisha kwenye mpango wa serikali wa makazi bora ya bei nafuu. Tatu, kwa nini kituo cha elimu ya utotoni cha gereza la Lang'ata kimeachwa nje ya mpango wa lishe wa serikali ya kaunti, na hatua gani zinazochukuliwa kurekebisha hali hiyo pamoja na kukabili dhuluma za kijinsia na za kigono dhidi ya watoto katika gereza hilo? Na mwisho, sababu za kutokamilishwa kwa kisima kilichochimbwa na TARDA ili kuhakikisha wafungwa na jamii ya gereza hilo maji masafi ya kutosha. Ya pili, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Senator. Just hold on, Senator Madzayo. You are a seasoned member of the House. You cannot walk across the aisle the way you did. Please comply.
Asante sana, Mr.
Proceed, Senator.
Mr. Speaker. Taarifa hiyo ingine ni kuhusu visa za ukatili wa maafisa kadhaa wa polisi kutoka kikosi cha GSU katika kaunti ya Kirinyaga. Mr. Speaker, nasimama kwa mujibu wa kanuni ya kudumu 53(1) ya kanuni za kudumu za Seneti kuomba kauli kutoka kwa kamati ya usalama wa taifa, ulinzi na uhusiano wa kimataifa kuhusu visa vya ukatili na maafisa kadhaa wa polisi kutoka kikosi cha GSU katika kaunti ya Kirinyaga. Mr. Speaker, katika kipindi cha hivi karibuni kikosi cha GSU kimekuwa kikiwakabili kwa nguvu kupita kiasi wakazi wa maeneo ya Kutus, Ngurubani na Gachai katika kaunti ya Kirinyaga. Wakazi wa kijiji Gachai wamelalamika kuwa maafisa hawa walivamia nyumba kadhaa usiku wa Julai 11 mwaka 2025, wakawapiga raia wasio na hatia na hata kuwalazimu wanawake kuvua nguo zao. Wakazi wa maeneo ya Ngurubani na Kutus pia wameshuhudia ukatili, kukamatwa kiolela na vitisho katika siku za hivi karibuni. Matendo haya yanadhoofisha imani ya wananchi kwa vyombo vya usalama na ni kinyume na kifungu cha 28, 29, 244 vya katiba ya Kenya vinavyobainisha haki ya kibinadamu na majukumu ya idara ya polisi. Mr. Speaker, katika kauli hiyo kamati zingatia fuatayo. Moja, sababu zilizopeleka maafisa hao wa kikosi GSU kutumia nguvu kupita kiasi dhidi ya wakazi wa maeneo ya Kutus, Ngurubani na Gashai katika kaunti ya Kirinyaga. 2, hatua zinazochukuliwa kuwachunguza na kuwajibisha maafisa waliohusika katika visa hivyo. 3, hatua zinazochukuliwa kuzuia kurudiwa kwa visa kama hivyo na kuhakikisha wakazi wa kaunti ya Kirinyaga kuheshimiwa kwa haki zao za kikatiba, hasa na maafisa wa polisi wanaotumikia katika kikosi maalum cha idara ya GSU. Na ya mwisho, Mstahiki Speaker, ukiruhusu, ni kwamba imeandikwa kwa lugha ya Kiroezi, kwa hivyo nitaisoma ilivyo. Mstahiki Speaker. Statement on the state of early childhood development education in Kirinyaga County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the state of early childhood development education in the county government of Kirinyaga. Mr. Speaker, this follows numerous complaints about the deteriorating state of ECD in the county, as well as lack of conducive learning and teaching environment for both learners and teachers. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the number of ECDE centers in Kirinyaga County, including the number of permanent and semi-permanent classrooms, as well as existing classrooms shortage. 2, status of implementation of ECD teacher scheme of service by the county government of Kirinyaga. 3, the current teacher to pupil issue and whether there is a shortage of ECD teachers. And 4, the measures taken by the county government of Kirinyaga to ensure all ECD teachers are employed permanently, receive their salaries on time, and are promoting following due process. Signed by Senator Kamau Morango on 16th of July 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Morango. I will allow lastly Senator Madzayo to read his statement, which had also been approved by the Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to request for a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the resurgence of a cult-like activity in Binzaro village of Chakama in Shakahola, Kilifi County, nearly 2 years after the massacre. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the statement, the committee should investigate the circumstances that led to the mysterious death of at least 3 individuals in a suspected case of religious radicalization in the Binzaro village of Chakama, close to Shakahola in Kilifi County. Number 2, find out why there was colossal failure by the government to protect the survivors of the Shakahola massacre from regrouping and continuing indoctrination in Binzaro village, which is a few kilometers from Shakahola. Number 3, disclose a detailed breakdown of the total number of the survivors of the Shakahola massacre, including minors, and the steps taken to rehabilitate, reintegrate, and support them to prevent them from regrouping. Number 4, provide the current status of the criminal investigations and legal proceedings against individuals implicated in the Shakahola tragedy to deter the religious extremist leaders from indoctrining the public or the citizens of Kilifi County. Number 5, provide the timeline for releasing of the Shakahola victims' bodies to their families along with the cause of the delays. Mr. Speaker, finally, the committee should recommend the long-term measures the Ministry of Interior and coordination of national government should take to protect the communities from religious exploitation, particularly in the remote parts of Shakahola and the vulnerable areas. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable members, I will allow members to comment on the statements which have been read out, but the timeline will be limited to 20 minutes, starting now. So when you get an opportunity, kindly be mindful of the rest of the colleagues who desires to comment on the statements. Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to make a comment on the statement that was read by Senator for Laikipia Kinyua. Mr. Speaker, we are all concerned as Kenyans, the number of youthful Kenyans, more so students in our polytechnics and in our universities who have lost their lives. Last week, Mr. Speaker, sir, in Nyamira, we were burying a student who was shot by a police officer at Ekerbogetai Polytechnic, Mr. Speaker. And because I believe, because of the declarations or the kind of signals that our CS Interior sent, Mr. Speaker, nobody from the police station that was involved in that murder has either recorded a statement or been arrested as part of investigations. Mr. Speaker, a country that does not care about its future generation is doomed, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, if we are good students of history, we should learn from what is happening in other parts of the world. In Bangladesh, Mr. Speaker, where, if you remember, in 2024, there was a mass massacre of university students. About 1,500 students lost their lives. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, the former Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, and the Home Cabinet Secretary, equivalent of our own Minister for Interior, and the Inspector General of Police are facing a tribunal for crimes against humanity, for genocide against innocent students. Mr. Speaker, we don't support people who are out to destroy anybody's property. We were students at the University of Nairobi. We were involved in demonstrations. Once in a while, you could get one or two people in the group who could stone vehicles. And we used to reprimand them. But the police never responded by shooting dead our colleagues. We were there with Kabando Akabando. We were there with Moses Kuria. We were there with Honorable Munya. We were there with Senator Mugatana. And in the entire 3 years we were at the University of Nairobi, not one single university student was shot dead by police officers. But now it's becoming like it's the norm, Mr. Speaker. We have lost close to 10 students from our higher learning institutions. We cannot allow this to continue, Mr. Speaker. Anybody who breaks the law in a country that respects the rule of law, Mr. Speaker, such a person should be arrested and arraigned in a court of law. Then he can either be proved guilty and is convicted and he goes to jail, or if he is free, he's acquitted. But we cannot say that our police officers should be trigger happy, they should shoot to kill. Mr. Speaker, that is a recipe for chaos. And I want to tell those who are making these pronouncements, there is no limitation in criminal liability, Mr. Speaker. I've told you what has happened in other jurisdictions like Bangladesh. Watch your mouths. Tomorrow you will find yourself arraigned in courts, Mr. Speaker. Our constitution is very clear. It says, if you are a president, you enjoy immunity while in office. When you leave, anything can happen. In South Korea, so in successive regimes, Mr. Speaker, 4 former presidents have been charged in court. 2 of them convicted, pardoned after serving 4 years in jail. So I want to appeal to our leaders, beginning from the president, to the cabinet secretary, to the IG, promote the culture of arresting criminals, not shooting to kill, Mr. Speaker. Not even saying shoot them in the legs. There is no law in this country, Mr. Speaker, that allows anybody to give an order to shoot people in the leg, Mr. Speaker. That should never be allowed. So I support this statement, Mr. Speaker, and urge progressive civil societies, including the Law Society, document these criminal pronouncements from our leaders. When the right time comes, they can be charged either through private prosecution or through our state institutions, Mr. Speaker. I support, but I'm a very, very disappointed Kenyans with our leaders, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Morgan. Honorable members, I had directed that based on the number of senators who wish to comment on these statements, the available timeline will be shared. So the next senator will allow, kindly take 4 minutes so that the rest of the requests can also be reached within the timeline I gave. And Senator Karen Nyamo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank Honorable Senator Murango of Kirinyaga for bringing this statement on Lang'ata Women's Prison, which is an issue that has been swept under the rug for some time. Mr. Speaker, the conditions in Lang'ata Women's Prison are not only alarming, but are also an abuse of human rights. They are also a direct contravention of Article 51 of our Constitution, which guarantees the rights and the conditions in prisons, Mr. Speaker. I happen to have spent a night at the remand prison of Lang'ata Women's one night, but luckily I was set free the following day. But I had the privilege of walking around and seeing the conditions that Senator Murango is talking about. And as someone who had reported that day, I was put in a small cell, very tiny mattress. I could hardly get sleep. And I think some of these experiences that God makes us go through are important because He knows that on your journey ahead, you are going to be tasked with representing such people in such facilities. The women, especially who are, some of them are pregnant, some of them have infants. The diet is not not balanced. The conditions, no special conditions for the vulnerable populations in prisons. It is dark, not lit. Either you sleep on the floor or very thin mattresses, Mr. Speaker. And it is time that we decongest Lang'ata Women Prison. It is time that we think about the conditions of the women in our prisons, Mr. Speaker. It is a big shame that we have ignored this very key area of our justice system, because it does not mean that just because they are awaiting trial or some of them have already been sentenced, na wanakaba, I doubt if any of you here know what to kaba is. I kabared.
Senator Karen, be mindful of the language that you're using. Comply with the standing orders of the House.
I don't think there's another word for that. I think when a language has only, when there's no other language to give, okay, I think squatting, when you're being counted, that's what I mean. You squat, they don't count you as you stand. You have to squat, then they count you. But that's prison language. It's called, yeah. But the point is, Senator Murango, I don't know how you came to learn about this. Either you have a relative in prison, or I don't know how you came, because, or a girlfriend, because this is very timely, and I support and I urge the committee, the relevant committee, to come up with sound reforms to have our women live in decent conditions as they serve their term. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Olekina Ledama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, very briefly, I want to comment on a very, very disturbing statement brought by the good senator from Kirinyaga County in terms of the conditions of our prisons, and particularly prisons with young children. Those kids did not commit any crime to be incarcerated with their parents. So it's about time that we think seriously as a country to figure out how do we adapt with the current changes in the world. It is like if I stand here today and I tell my little child not to use AI, I would be thinking like a 19th century person instead of the 21st century. So it's about time that we try to teach our children how to use AI to be able to better them. Now, Mr. Speaker, countries like the United States of America, countries like the UK, countries like Australia and New Zealand. In fact, Australia and New Zealand have experimented on having private prisons, prisons that are run by private companies. In the UK, a company like G4S, which is a company which is based here in Kenya also, a security company, has managed, has managed some private prisons. So it's about time for us to really be realistic and become AI, thinking individuals or 21st century legislators and advocate for the privatization of institutions, these penitentiaries that have got children in them. And of course, there are pros and cons. One, people might say because they are profit-driven, those managing these prisons would probably try to come up with cost-saving measures to be able to earn more profit. But we have to look at it also in a way that government will be able to oversight them. It is wrong for us to punish our children. When you hear that Langata Women Prison, the kids are being raped, who are there. Education facilities, which is guaranteed by our constitution for every child in this country, those kids are not getting those services. It worries us. So, Mr. Speaker, this statement should be taken seriously. And it's about time that we start thinking outside the box. Let us experiment with the privatization of these penitentiaries, of these prisons. Once we do that, the ones with children, we can privatize them. Pay them the money. You might actually find that the government will spend less money. I know a lot of people might worry that, prison officers will lose jobs. No. People can be able to find a way to work, and we privatize them. We have so much land in this country. We have areas that are deserts. We can go build a prison there and privatize it and then fund it. Mr. Speaker, finally, and I would like to request that you urge me just 30 seconds on this matter. This issue of the massacre in Kilifi County, it is devastating, Mr. Speaker. That when you go to Malindi, you'll find a container with over 500 bodies inside. Why not resolve this matter once and for all? Sometimes we do things that really leave some of us wondering whether we really, our medulla oblongata is functioning. I think it's about time that the government takes this matter seriously. Whatever can be done in Malindi, so that we take care of the health of even the people who get sick and are admitted in the hospitals. If a morgue is stinking as hell because of, maybe our criminal justice system is dragging its feet to be able to resolve this matter, why not find a way of disposing?
Senator Samson Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From the onset, I want to agree on the issue of prisons. having been a serial guest in a number of prison cells, and as you represented me at some point. So, Speaker, I think by the time I was the whip as the chair JLAC, we had a report of reforms in postal institutions. And one of our recommendations was privatizations of prisons within the country, and also to avoid punishing the children that are born in prisons. Because it's very unfortunate, it undermines Article 53 of the Constitution on the child rights, and they say child best interest. So, Mr. Speaker, since you are the chair of JLAC, can you ensure you wind up on the report on postal institutions? And there is many land that these prisons are. I'm happy today, Mr. Speaker, I've seen Langata Cemetery is being expanded to come part of the committee land, among other lands, which it means we must be innovative. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, is on the issue of MATIANG'I. The attack in MATIANG'I of Kirinyaga, it's very unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, we are aware. It is not right, Mr. Speaker, that the J should travel all the way from Nairobi to go and terrorize people of MATIANG'I village because of business differences. And the people that are using police or GSU, Mr. Speaker, the next GSU camp that is in Mount Kenya is in Laikipia. How can they drive all the way to Kirinyaga to terrorize using GSU, Mr. Speaker? I think this issue of business, I want to appeal to the committee to look this issue of business library that we see in Kirinyaga, so that the people of MATIANG'I village do not suffer, Mr. Speaker. On the issue of Sabasaba, Mr. Speaker, while we empathize and sympathize with what happened because of Sabasaba demos, the organizers, the planners, the executioners, Mr. Speaker, they must be punished with anti-terrorism laws, Mr. Speaker. Because that's economic sabotage. That is a way of sabotaging the government, Mr. Speaker. When you even ban a police booth, you are a local terrorist and you must be handled as such, Mr. Speaker. While we appeal for the IPO and the government to rein on the issue of police brutality and also extrajudicial killings, any person found, Mr. Speaker, to have violated, Mr. Speaker, Article 37 is very clear, it's peace and unarmed. But what we have been seeing in Sabasaba, Mr. Speaker, was criminals and goons, but Mr. Speaker, attacking, looting businesses, burning police stations, burning everything, Mr. Speaker, therefore, and blocking roads. They must be dealt as local domestic terrorists. Mr. Speaker, I join my majority leader, Senator retired Stewart Masayo. On the issue of Shakahola, I was shocked, Mr. Speaker, yesterday evening to watch that the Shakahola massacre season 2. Yet the bodies of the previous Shakahola victims have never been released to their families, Mr. Speaker. I want to appeal to the government, let us put closure to this issue of Shakahola. The people of Kilifi. Mr. Speaker, my heart as a parent, I was at pain because we were being told the bodies of children were being retrieved in shallow graves, Mr. Speaker. This matter should capture the imagination and attention of the nation, Mr. Speaker. Any person, we have never seen the seriousness of prosecuting and persecuting individuals who persecuted this Shakahola massacre, Mr. Speaker. I sympathize and empathize with the great people of Kilifi, and I want to assure them through the Senate Minority Leader that we are together and will pursue justice. They say the arc of moral universe is long, but it always bends to justice. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Lastly, Senator Murango James.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker, ningependa kuchangia hoja ambayo ililetwa na Senator wa Laikipia. Mr. Speaker, nimesema kwamba hapo awali kwamba ni vizuri kutofautisha maneno, kwamba kama mimi kwa muda wiki moja nimekuwa nikienda kuzika vijana wadogo waliouliwa wakiwa na chini ya miaka 21. Wengi wao ambao waliuliwa katika maeneo ya Kirinyaga. Moja tu ndo waliuliwa Githurai 44 na hawakuwa katika maandamano yalikuweko. Tumesema ni wazi kwamba kuna wale ambao wakora ambao wamekuwa wakiharibu mali ya umma. Tunakubaliana nafaa kuadhibiwa. Lakini pia wale waliouliwa wenye walipatikana na hawakuwa na makosa, pia nadhani wanafaa kupewa ridhaa, Mr. Speaker. Kisa sa msichana ambaye alikufa akiwa katika jela ama akiwa ameshikwa na polisi, hiyo ni kisa ambao tulisema wakati tulikuwa tunaongelea maneno ya Ojwang ambaye kurudiwa, Mr. Speaker. Kwa sababu ameshikwa na nasikia kwamba alikuwa mtoto wa chifu katika eneo hilo. Halafu anapelekwa ndani katika kituo cha polisi, halafu anatoka akiwa ameaga. Hiyo hatuwezi kuunga mkono. Nimesikia viongozi wakisema mambo mingi, Mr. Speaker. Nimesikia wengine wakisema hata watu sijui wapigwe risasi sijui wafanye nini. Mr. Speaker, wakati tumekuwa tukitembea katika nchi wakati wa kura, zote tulikuwa tunaongea katika lugha moja. Lakini nimekuja kujua binadamu ni kama mihogo. Maganda yanafanana lakini ladha ni tofauti kabisa. Kwa sababu inapofika mahali ambao tunafaa kuongelea maneno ambayo tunajua ni dhuluma na hujuma, tunakuja kidogo tunakwepa kuongea hilo. Kwa sababu tunafaa tukae kama Wakenya na tuongee mambo yote. Mr. Speaker, siku hizi katika uongozi nimekuja kujua kwamba sio kila kikombe ni cha chai. Sio kila tabasamu lina maana jema. Siku hizi hata sumu inakuja ikiwa na harufu ya maua. Na ndio unaona leo tunapoongea mazuri ambayo inafaa ifanywe na kuongea waziwazi kwa wale mambo ambayo inafanywa, wengine tutakuwa mbaya. Lakini Mr. Speaker, mimi kuna kitu nilisema. Baada ya wiki moja inzi lazima akufe. Lakini kama inzi lazima akufe, afadhali kukufia kwa nyama kuliko kufia kwa choo. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri kuwa katika kumbukumbu na kukaa ukiongea maneno ambayo unajua kwa kweli inalingana na katiba na watu wako katika upande wako. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, hii maneno tunaongea kila mtu anaelewa. Kwa sababu tumekuwa katika hii Kenya. Sio lazima uonje bahari nzima ndio unjue iko na chumvi. Tunajua kuna wale wakora waliharibu mali, kuna watoto walikufa ambao hawakuwa na hatia, na tunajua wale tunafaa kuwafidhia ama tunafaa kuwafanyia namna gani. Mr. Speaker, lakini tusiwe watu wa kuongea maneno yasiyo maana, kwa sababu wakati mwingine tunaonekana kama tujui tunafanya. Na ukumbuke kwamba unaweza kuwa kiongozi, lakini unajua nyani ni nyani. Hata akivaa suti ni nyani kwa mwenye alimshonea suti. Kwa hivyo ukichaguliwa na mwenendo yako ni mbaya na unaongea mambo yafai, utaonekana hivyo. Na niwakumbushe ya kwamba Mungu wako na kawaida ya kuinua watu ambao hawana lolote kwa yeyote mbele ya watu ambao hawaamini chochote, kwa sababu Mungu ni wa sisi sote. Wakati utafika. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri tuzingatie, tuongee, tusaidie wale wanaoumia, tuchunge maneno, tusiumize wale ambao wanazikana, kwa sababu hii mauti itatukumba sisi zote. Hata mimi najua kuna msonomari amba kuna mti fulani unakuwa mahali wa kutengeneza jeneza langu. Sote tunafaa tujue hivyo. Sisi wote ni watarajiwa.
That sums up the comments on the statements, honorable senators, and in order to conclude on the business of the House, I'll rearrange the order paper and call out order number 20. Clerk, call out order number 20.
Order number 20, the Technopolis Bill, National Assembly Bill number 6 of 2024, resumption of debate.
When the House last rose, Senator Osotsi was on the floor, and you have got 7 minutes to conclude on seconding this particular bill. Senator Osotsi, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think I stopped at the point where I was saying that there are some provisions in this bill which are quite unique. They are not consistent with the international norms on Technopolis. And I said, for example, the definition of the Technopolis, particularly Konza Technopolis, whose definition is defined as just a number of hectares. That is not proper, that is not progressive, and that is very limiting. Because, Mr. Speaker, we know of Technopolis across the world. We know of Silicon Valley, we know of Silicon Forest, we know of Gurugram in India. All these are not limited by the number of hectares where they sit. They are limited by ideas, not the amount of space they sit on. So we will be starting on a wrong foot as a country if we try to limit Technopolis based on geographical sites that they occupy. So I think it will be very important to amend so that we do not set a wrong precedent on that. I also was concerned about the functions of the authority, where the authority has been given the function to allocate land. Mr. Speaker, that can't be the function of the authority. We have institutions which do that in this country, we have the National Land Commission, we have the Ministry of Land. Can they be allowed to do that? Because we have started hearing concerns that some unscrupulous land operators have already descended in Konza City and they are buying land in preparation for all this. Mr. Speaker, I also wanted to say that this bill has also to be looked at into the 7 elements of our Technopolis. It has only captured government and large companies. Mr. Speaker, for us to have a proper Technopolis, we need to have a university. All Technopolis across the world have a university located within the Technopolis. This bill does not talk about that, Mr. Speaker. Research institution, it doesn't talk about that. Mr. Speaker, the bill also is limiting, it's only talking about large technology companies. We also need to provide opportunities for our youth who can set up small tech companies and they can be housed there. So I think there is a lot that needs to be done to this bill, and as a member who is very conversant with Technopolis, I will be proposing amendments to this bill to align it with the international standards and also create value for Kenyans in this bill. Mr. Speaker, I second.
Now, Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the Technopolis Bill, National Assembly Bill number 6 of 2024, Senate Bills number 6 of 2024 be now read a second time. Honorable Senators, the bill is now available for debate, and I will allow Senator Samson Cherargei to make his contributions.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the mover and also the seconder, the DPL, Deputy Party Leader of ODM, my neighbor Senator, Senator Otsotsi, and also Chairperson of County Public Investment. Mr. Speaker, I was excited to listen to most of his insight yesterday since he started seconding, because it is his forte in this industry. And I'm happy, Mr. Speaker, he has given conspectus of what should really happen in Technopolis. So, Speaker, as you are aware, when we were in Form 1, you were being told what is definition of biology or definition of chemistry. So, Speaker, the word Technopolis refers to an urban place where it's like Silicon Valley that we have in the US. And it is, in fact, it's based where it is technopreneurs, the area of innovation, the area of tech, Mr. Speaker, and therefore it is very critical. I agree, Mr. Speaker, that as the world revolves, in fact, as we talk about technology in Kenya, Mr. Speaker, we are still slightly behind. Because I saw even companies like Meta and other major companies are now moving to artificial intelligence. So it is a moving target. Mr. Speaker, if you have happened to have watched the movie, I know you are a bit senior, called Hard Target. So, Speaker, the story of that movie is that a gentleman would always want to use one bullet, but he would miss the target. That's why it's called Hard Target, Mr. Speaker. For I know for the Gen Z and the rest don't know what movie Hard Target is, because I don't think the current type of movies in Netflix and Amazon and others, Mr. Speaker, or on YouTube captures that. But I advise that if you should find time, I know you are a busy man, you should watch that movie. It's a very interesting movie. So that is, I want to equate it to the fact of the technology. Technology, what is in the morning by evening, Senator Otsosi will tell you, has become obsolete. So we must be at pace, Mr. Speaker, in our lives. I remember there was an issue of elections, and you were very instrumental during the UDA nominations process and also being an agent of elections, and you are part of the people alongside you signing the charter during the engagement with the current president, Mr. Speaker. So this, when we were arguing about the role of technology in our elections, Mr. Speaker, technology will control our lives. Mr. Speaker, but what surprises me, Mr. Speaker, is that when you go to other countries, they are now resorting to use of paper. Especially when you travel, Mr. Speaker, and I know your members from table office are conversant because we normally travel together with the Secretariat. Mr. Speaker, I hope I can see they are smiling. I don't know whether it is true or false, but they are aware because I was once a chair, Mr. Speaker. When you go to America, these established countries, they are now retreating and using papers or hard. They no longer fear technology because technology also is vulnerable to cyber attacks. Is vulnerable, Mr. Speaker. That is why, in fact, if you remember, and Mr. Speaker, at least you have practiced law long enough in this country, you remember the substratum of the conversation within the election petition of Raila Odinga case in 2017. It was about the servers. And we were being told people in France were yet to wake up. Because, Mr. Speaker, I'm happy in this bill, we are creating our own store. Let me use the word store so that Kenyans can understand. We are creating our own hub, Mr. Speaker, so that we don't need to outsource. Mr. Speaker, in fact, as we talk today with the issue of e-citizen, the issue of cards, Mr. Speaker, in banks, is becoming a serious digital economy. And therefore, regulation and legislation on digital economy is very important. I want to thank His Excellency the President, Mr. Speaker, because he has been instrumental in establishment of digital hubs in 290 constituencies. That will bring revolution in terms of digital economy. The laying of fiber optic across the country, Mr. Speaker, will ensure Kenya, alongside South Africa and Nigeria, become one of the greatest hubs, Mr. Speaker, in the entire Africa, Mr. Speaker. So these 290 digitals that President William Ruto is pushing to be established in everywhere, Mr. Speaker, it should and it must be welcomed by each and every person.
Senator Cherargei, it's 6:30. When the House resumes tomorrow, you will have your 15 minutes remaining to conclude on your contribution.
Okay. But in future,
now, Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m. Time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Thursday, 24th of July, 2025 at 2:30 p.m.
Karen Nyamo, you should vote the Speaker. Speaker in future.